Hello everyone. This is the first kind of video I've done of one of these where it's me in the, as in me talking. Normally you see me behind the kit, but I just wanted to do what I promised a few weeks ago. I've got an explanation about that as well. Wanted to keep videos coming, but I had an accident at work. I crushed bottom of my hand, so I've not really been able to play that well, or not play for the first few weeks anyway of the injury while I recovered. Yeah, it's only just sort of starting to come back now. I am playing again just about. Some things I can't do, which is frustrating, but it's going to take maybe a couple more months really, because of nerve damage and tendon damage. But hey ho, he's coming back, he's getting better, so I think it's just one of them slow recovery things. But I just wanted to do a quick studio walk around today, just so you can see what I'm working with, what I work with clients and things when people want me to record drums on the tracks, or even not just drums. I produce lots of different things. People come in and record guitars, bass, keys, you name it. Yeah, so first of all, most of you that watch this more than likely will know my kit, which is this kit. It's 1960 pre-serial Ludwig Super Classic. The size is 22 by 14 kick drum, 13 by 9 rack tom, and 16 by 16 floor tom. I do have an 18 by 16 for this kit as well. It's not here at the minute, but I do have that as well. That's the main kind of recording kit. I do have a Yamaha 9000, which is a 1987, which is that's 8, 10, 12, 14, 16 with a 22 by 14 kick as well. That's a lovely kit. Some of you may have seen that on previous videos or on my gig shots. Cymbals generally are Istanbul. Cymbals are Gops. I love the Gops. Apart from this one, which is a Zildjian Constantinople. I've had this a few years now. Even the writing's worn off. Medium thin 20-inch Constantinople. I love how this records. Beautiful cymbal. Istanbul riding coming, but this one at the minute is just my favourite. Over to right here, I've got traditional dark 17-inch Agop. Then I've got the traditional hi-hats, 14-inch, and then a traditional thin Crash 18, which they complement each other quite well. All Remo drum heads. I've just used them for years. Vic Firth sticks. That snare that's on there at the minute is my 1979 402 Luddy snare. Some people call it the bottom snare. Yeah, 402. It's a lovely snare. That I've done a lot of work to that. Put different snare wires on, and it had a slightly bent hoop on it when I first got it, and I bought a 70s new old stock, both sets of rims, and yeah, I replaced that. So I still have the original rim, obviously, for authenticity. I've got a couple of snares down there. Let me take you around, actually. I'll show you all the computer gear in a minute as well, and the mics. So I've got my Ludwig 400 14 by 5.5. That one's 6.5, if people that aren't aware. That's my Rogers Dynasonic 14 by 6.5. That's a brilliant snare to record with as well. Different to these, obviously these, but beautiful snare. I've got my Dunit 2N brass here somewhere. It's down there. It's in the case. I'll get that out at some point. Various other snares at home as well, but these are the kind of the 4 snares I mainly use, I guess, at the recording. When I'm recording here, mix of those 4. I've got a couple of different snares. I've got a Pearl Masters snare. I've got a Pearl kit as well, which I forgot to mention. Little Pearl Masters custom kit. Some people will have seen that, me out with that at various points as well. That's a nice kit. That's a 20-inch bass drum, 12, 16. That's nice. Different bag again, but yeah, lovely kit. Mics then. So let's come round to the bass drum first, and then I can kind of go back up myself. So currently I'm using, on the kick drum, inside the kick, just purely because my D12E is off for repair with the fabulous Neil Hunter at the moment. I've got my D112 in there. You probably can't see that, but it's in there. If you can, it's probably too dark. Then I've got this United Technologies UT FET 47, which is a Neumann U47 FET copy. It's, I think, the research I've done, some people might say differently, but the research I've done, it's the closest one that sounds almost identical to the original Neumann U47. It just sounds brilliant on the kit. Really nice pillowy kind of puffy sound when you're recording. Then I've just got this mic actually, week or two ago. So I had a Beyer M88. I switch my snare mics all the time. A Beyer M88 TG that I've been using on the snare. Between that and a SM57, but I've just got this M201 Beyer Dynamic. It's I think it's an early 80s one. One of the original ones, not the TG version. Got this crash guard as well, which I get like a lot of the cymbal noise out. That sounds brilliant, really good. It's kind of a some engineers do the 2 mic thing with a 451 and a 57. It's like kind of that in one. I feel anyway. I think it sounds great. Then I've got Beyer Dynamic M160 on the hi-hats, and then I've got MD421 Sennheisers on the toms. Got the third one here for the other floor tom, but it's not here at the moment. There's a couple more down there as well, for when I mic up the big Yamaha kit. You can probably see down there. And then to the overheads. So I've got the lovely Coles 4038s. You can see there, look, and the connectors that you annoyingly have to buy those connectors separately, and they cost like ridiculous amounts as well. But you know, I've got it. Obviously this side as well, beautiful. Absolutely, again, changed the level that I was recording at, just upped the level of the recording sound just by switching out those mics. Beautiful mics. And then I've got so this one here, it's a Cascade Fathead, sorry, ribbon mic. It's the one with a Blumline transformer in it, so you can activate it and it gives you a bigger, warmer signal. I alternate between whether I do that or not. It's a lovely, again, just a ribbon mic on drums. I think they sound brilliant. And then out there in the corridor, you can probably see the green glow. I've got an AKG C414 out there. I would take you to it, but I'm on cable as I'm charging my GoPro because it's gone flat. I don't wanted to record, as you can imagine, annoyingly. So that's the mics currently. I've got a couple of these which I use in stereo room format now and again, depending on what I'm doing. Then I come to the computer, the interface. So I've just not long got a Mac Studio M1 Max for all the computer people out there that want to know the specs. So it's the M1 Max with 32 GPU cores. It's got 64 gigs unified memory. It's got 1 terabyte hard drive on board, and then I've got a couple of external SSD NVMe drives. Got a Sabre Rocket in this Treble Elite one, and then I've got Western Digital in the Acasis one. Everyone's raving about these Acasis external enclosures and Western Digital combinations at the minute. So I got one, and it's rapid. It's yeah, mental. Doesn't give me any trouble tracking straight to those drives when I'm recording 12 plus tracks, or less, you know, depending on what I'm doing. And then, which is hard to see just because of how I've got this set up, but I've got a Furman power conditioner in the top here. Let me see if I can get a better view of it down here. Let me move this monitor out of the way a bit. So there's the Furman. That was expensive. And then I've got the UAD Apollo X8P there underneath, so that's 8 channel, right, preamp one. I've got my friend Tom's Apogee Ensemble, an old one there at the bottom, just light piped into it as well. A couple of mics there, as you can see. And then I've got the Apollo X4, which I use as like a headphone controller and monitor. That's also got 4 pre's in it as well, so that's giving me 12 ins of the Unison preamps that Universal Audio offer. And then I've got the UAD2 satellite there as well, which is the Octo version, so it's the max one that you can get in that, which gives me more to play with the plugins that UAD offer. And then I use UAD's Luna, which is it just works really well with the Apollos, so I've kind of stuck with that. I was using Pro Tools, and I still love Pro Tools. I've got Logic as well, so I use that. But I track with this really, and a lot of my work is just tracking, and then I send the stems over to, yeah, I'll show you how to talk to you instead of showing you a screen. Yeah, so I track mainly on Luna. I mix sometimes on that as well, but a lot of my work is just recording, tracking, sending the stems to the client, whoever that may be, and they then either mix it, or if they want me to do a standard drum mix, then I can also do that, which I tend to do in Luna as well. If I'm doing songs, I do mix in here, but if it's come from another project, say in Logic or Pro Tools, then I run with that and I just work with it, because I've used those for years, probably more so than Luna. I've got Waves plugins, FabFilter plugins, Valhalla. I've got quite a lot of plugins, to be fair. I'm a bit, my friend Steve Amadio, he's mad into plugins as well. Steve, if you're watching, we're plugin kind of geeks really, but I don't use them all the time, but I do use a lot, and I'll change all the time. So yeah, that's my, oh yeah, I've got my Audi's headphones as well, which I mix on a lot of the time. Really great headphones, expensive, but like with all this kind of stuff, a lot of gear is expensive, but it's really good to work with, and yeah, I love it. I love this setup now, what I've got. Everything's just working lovely. It's so streamlined. It's working really well. So yeah, I won't ramble on too much more because that's kind of what I've done for the last 15 minutes or so. But yeah, get in touch if you want me to record in any capacity, whether it's just drums on your tracks or you want to come into the studio, lay down some tracks of your own, or lay your guitar down, or anything like that. Just give me a shout. You can contact me on my email, or some of you will have my number anyway. I'll put all the details in the description, and yeah, just give me a shout, and do some work together. Cool. Have a great night, and I'll speak to you soon. Cheers. Bye-bye. Just an extra note on the end of that, which I forgot. More videos coming soon. Drums coming. I'm working with a guy at the minute who's happy for me to film and put out there the tracks that he's producing as well. So some of them will be coming soon as well. And I've got some footage of the hallway that I've dropped in as well. Cheers, guys. Speak to you soon. Bye.